Ever wondered which cars left drivers embarrassed but had just enough charm to find their way onto the road? In this list of the 12 ugliest and worst cars, we're digging into models that came with clunky designs, terrible performance, and prices low enough that almost anyone could afford them. These vehicles may have been budget-friendly, but they turned heads for all the wrong reasons. Get ready to discover the cars that became icons of unfortunate design and questionable engineering decisions. The 1940 Ford Deluxe stands out as one of the most iconic cars from the pre-war era, a car that managed to capture the essence of a swiftly changing America with its sleek, stylish looks. With curving fenders, an elegant grille, and graceful lines, it was a head-turner in its day and set a precedent for automotive design that influenced countless cars in the years to come. While celebrated for its looks and relative affordability, the Deluxe was far from perfect and had limitations that marked it as a product of its time. Its shortcomings in performance, safety, and comfort show how the automotive industry still had a long way to go, especially as Americans began to expect more from their cars in terms of reliability, power, and ride experience. One of the most noticeable limitations of the Ford Deluxe was its modest engine power. Equipped with a 221 cubic inch flathead V8, the Deluxe offered around 85 horsepower, which was considered adequate for regular driving in the 1940s, but fell short of the power needed for more dynamic performance. At a time when car owners were just beginning to explore the notion of speed and excitement in their vehicles, the Deluxe's engine, while a milestone for Ford's pioneering V8 efforts, didn't satisfy those looking for a truly thrilling ride. Its lack of horsepower and limited top speed, while acceptable by the standards of the day, also left the Deluxe at a disadvantage when measured against even slightly more powerful cars that would soon emerge in the post-war period. The Ford Deluxe's safety features, or lack thereof, also tell the story of how much automotive safety has evolved over time. Like most cars of its era, the Deluxe didn't include any advanced safety features that would later become commonplace, such as seat belts, crumple zones, or rollover protection. While these ideas were still largely in their infancy, it left the Deluxe vulnerable in accidents. The car's structural rigidity wasn't designed with crash survival in mind, and its braking system relied on mechanical drum brakes rather than the hydraulic disc brakes that would become more common in later decades. Mechanical drum brakes, while suitable for the lighter, slower cars of the early 20th century, were prone to fade under heavy braking, and they lacked the stopping power needed to bring the car to a quick, safe halt. In a sudden braking situation, the Deluxe could struggle to stop effectively, making it more dangerous on busy roads. The car's suspension system also left much to be desired in terms of comfort. The 1940 Ford Deluxe relied on a simple leaf spring suspension setup, which was the standard of the day, but did little to provide a smooth ride. Leaf springs are durable and cost-effective, but they transmit a large amount of the road's roughness directly to the car's cabin, resulting in a ride that could be both bumpy and uncomfortable, especially on unpaved roads or rougher surfaces. As a result, passengers felt every bump and jolt, which could make long journeys taxing. In an age where highways and interstates were only just beginning to appear, cars like the Deluxe weren't equipped to handle long-distance driving comfortably, and they lacked the sophisticated shock absorption systems that would come to define later vehicles. Even with these limitations, however, the Ford Deluxe was beloved by many for its combination of affordability, reliability, and a touch of elegance that was relatively rare in the mass-market cars of the era. Ford was a pioneer in making stylish cars available to the average consumer, and for many American families in the pre-war era, the Deluxe was an aspirational vehicle that allowed them to own something that looked upscale without the steep price tag of luxury brands. Its distinctive alligator hood, sleek, rounded headlights, and stylish chrome trim made it stand out from other models, and it became a symbol of the era's charm and optimism. The 1940 Ford Deluxe's historical significance and aesthetic appeal have preserved its legacy in automotive history. Collectors and enthusiasts appreciate it for its representation of pre-war American design and for its role in pushing the Ford brand toward more refined, consumer-friendly styling. While it may not have provided the powerful performance advanced safety, or smooth ride that we expect from today's cars, the Deluxe nonetheless captured the imagination of its era and remains a cherished part of American automotive history. The 1941 Chevrolet Special Deluxe arrived just before World War II, in an era when the American car industry was reaching new heights in design, style, and mass-market appeal. Positioned as a step up from the basic models, the Special Deluxe offered a stylish, well-appointed interior, a more elegant exterior, and was crafted to appeal to Americans ready to upgrade to a more sophisticated car. Chevrolet's aim with the Special Deluxe was to provide a comfortable, attractive vehicle that balanced affordability with a touch of luxury, a mission it largely succeeded in. But despite its aesthetic charm and popularity, the Special Deluxe had notable limitations in performance, handling, and reliability, which became more apparent as time went on. At the heart of the Special Deluxe was its engine, a 216 cubic inch 3.5-liter inline six, producing around 90 horsepower. While sufficient for daily driving, this power output was modest at best, especially as car performance began to evolve in the post-war years. The inline-six engine was dependable when properly maintained, but its lack of horsepower limited the Special Deluxe's capability for faster acceleration or sustained high speeds, meaning it was ill-suited to more adventurous or high-speed driving. For those seeking a bit of thrill behind the wheel, the Special Deluxe's engine, while stable and steady, didn't provide the punch that would become more desirable in later American cars. Handling was another area where the Special Deluxe fell short of expectations, especially when viewed through a modern lens. Its heavy, rigid body and basic suspension setup provided a sturdy feel on smooth roads, but could struggle with more complex handling situations. Built with a simple leaf spring rear suspension and independent front suspension, the car could feel unsteady on bumpy roads, and its large, heavy steering wheel made it difficult to maneuver in tight spaces or handle sudden shifts in direction. For its time, the handling was typical and generally accepted by drivers, but in the evolving landscape of American cars, it wasn't long before other models surpassed the Special Deluxe in agility and ease of handling. In terms of reliability, the Special Deluxe was a mixed bag. While Chevrolet prided itself on making durable vehicles, the demands of regular maintenance for the Special Deluxe often revealed some design shortcomings. The car's engine and mechanical components required frequent oil changes, adjustments, and tune-ups to keep it running smoothly. Wear on parts such as the spark plugs, distributor points, and brakes could lead to more frequent repairs than one might expect in a car built for broad appeal. These needs became more burdensome over time, especially for owners who might have been drawn in by the car's affordability without realizing the maintenance investment required to keep it in optimal condition. For drivers unable to stay on top of its regular maintenance schedule, the Special Deluxe's reliability began to fade, leading to issues with starting, stalling, and even breakdowns in some cases. Yet despite these weaknesses, the 1941 Chevrolet Special Deluxe made a lasting impact on the American automotive scene. Its handsome exterior styling, with its sweeping lines, chrome accents, and well-crafted details, captured the optimism of pre-war America, while its comfortable interior, featuring plush seats, a refined dashboard, and ample space, made it a popular family car. Chevrolet's commitment to a more premium feel in the Special Deluxe also helped elevate the brand, making it a symbol of quality and aspirational design during an era when Chevrolet was striving to establish itself as the leader in affordable elegance. Today, the Special Deluxe is celebrated by collectors and enthusiasts who appreciate its historical significance and classic design. It reflects an era when American car manufacturers were beginning to recognize the importance of style as well as function, setting the stage for the iconic designs of the 1950s and beyond. Although it lacked the power, handling, finesse, and advanced engineering that later cars would deliver, the Special Deluxe remains a beautiful relic of its time, offering a window into the early stages of Chevrolet's journey toward becoming a household name in American automotive history. The 1942 Buick Roadmaster, released during a complex time in American history, captured attention with its bold, luxurious design and generous proportions. As one of Buick's top models, the Roadmaster was designed to exude prestige, offering a spacious interior high-quality materials, and one of the brand's most powerful engines at the time. However, the very features that made it appealing, the large frame, hefty build, and powerful engine, also contributed to its significant drawbacks, which became more apparent with time. While the Roadmaster symbolized the pinnacle of comfort and style, its weight, size, and handling deficiencies limited its practicality and performance. One of the primary challenges with the 1942 Roadmaster was its weight. This car was a true behemoth, with an imposing body-on-frame construction that, while adding to its sense of grandeur, made it incredibly heavy. Its weight impacted performance significantly, resulting in sluggish acceleration that was noticeable even by the standards of the day. The Roadmaster was equipped with Buick's well-regarded 320 cubic inch, 5.2-liter Fireball inline-8 engine, which delivered around 165 horsepower, considered powerful for the time, but that power was quickly absorbed by the vehicle's substantial mass. As a result, acceleration was far from spirited, and the car often felt lethargic, especially when fully loaded with passengers or cargo. This heavyweight design choice made the Roadmaster suitable for comfortable cruising rather than responsive driving. Handling was another area where the Roadmaster's size proved to be a hindrance. With its large dimensions and lengthy wheelbase, navigating tight corners or maneuvering in crowded areas was a challenge, even with the sturdy steering mechanisms of the time. The car's turning radius was extensive, and the steering, which required significant muscle to operate, further emphasized its cumbersome nature. While the Roadmaster's coil spring suspension and body-on-frame design provided a smoother ride on highways, these features couldn't prevent a degree of body roll when making sharper turns or sudden maneuvers, reinforcing the car's role as a cruiser rather than a nimble performer. Fuel efficiency, or rather the lack thereof, was another downside for the 1942 Roadmaster. The combination of the powerful inline-8 engine and the vehicle's considerable weight resulted in high fuel consumption, which made the car expensive to operate in an era where fuel costs were becoming a growing concern. The Roadmaster's limited fuel economy, combined with its performance limitations, made it an impractical option for many drivers, especially those who sought a vehicle for everyday use or long-distance travel. Despite these functional weaknesses, the 1942 Roadmaster held a certain allure that kept it appealing to a specific segment of buyers. The vehicle was designed with an array of luxury features, including plush seats, elegant wood and chrome accents, and spacious interiors that provided an experience of exclusivity and comfort. Its streamlined torpedo styling, complemented by Buick's signature chrome accents and a wide, imposing grille, made the Roadmaster one of the most visually striking vehicles of its era. This distinctive design contributed to Buick's image as a maker of upscale yet attainable vehicles, reinforcing the brand's commitment to providing luxury at a more accessible price point. The Roadmaster's timing, however, played a crucial role in its fate. The 1942 model year was cut short by the U.S. government's suspension of civilian automobile production as World War II intensified, which meant that fewer Roadmasters made it to the consumer market than initially anticipated. This scarcity, coupled with the car's large and inefficient design, made the Roadmaster somewhat of a rare luxury during wartime. Following the war, as fuel economy and more nimble designs took precedence, the 1942 Roadmaster's place in the Buick lineup became less relevant, paving the way for more streamlined, performance-oriented models in the subsequent decades. Today, the 1942 Buick Roadmaster is remembered as a piece of automotive art from a bygone era. Although it may not excel in performance, handling, or fuel efficiency by modern standards, it embodies the craftsmanship and design ambition of early 1940s American automotive culture. Collectors appreciate the Roadmaster for its distinctive style, representing a time when car design emphasized luxury and presence, even if it came at the cost of practicality and efficiency. As a classic, the Roadmaster provides a glimpse into Buick's legacy, reflecting both the triumphs and the limitations of luxury cars of the pre-war era. The 1941 Plymouth Special Deluxe holds a special place in automotive history as a popular pre-World War II model, known for its practicality and reliability. Designed as Plymouth's top-tier model, the Special Deluxe represented the brand's attempt to deliver a family-friendly, well-rounded vehicle to appeal to a broad audience of American drivers. It featured a modest inline-six engine, reasonable interior space, and a straightforward utilitarian design. However, while it did satisfy the need for a reliable, affordable car, the Special Deluxe ultimately fell short in several areas, especially when compared to other, more innovative models of the time. One of the primary criticisms of the 1941 Special Deluxe was its limited horsepower. Powered by a 201 cubic inch 3.3-liter inline-six engine producing around 87 horsepower, the Special Deluxe was underpowered even by the standards of the era. While this engine was durable and easy to maintain, it struggled to deliver any sense of spirited performance, and acceleration was sluggish. This made the Special Deluxe more suited to leisurely cruising than anything resembling sporty driving. As a result, while the car could handle most city and suburban driving needs, it was not ideal for drivers looking for a vehicle with robust power or performance-oriented characteristics. In addition to its modest engine, the 1941 Special Deluxe featured a somewhat outdated design. While the car adhered to the typical styling cues of the early 1940s, with a rounded, streamlined body, chrome accents, and a wide front grille, it lacked the fresh design innovations that competitors were beginning to embrace. By this point, other car makers were experimenting with more modern aerodynamic designs and incorporating advanced features, and the Special Deluxe felt conservative in comparison. Its look was more reminiscent of the 1930s than of a new era, making it feel slightly dated at the time of release. Inside, the Special Deluxe also showed signs of minimalism, reflecting its budget-conscious design. While it did offer a roomy cabin and practical seating arrangement, the interior was simple, featuring basic materials that lacked the comfort and refinement found in higher-end models of the day. The dashboard layout was functional, but lacked the appeal of the more elaborate, luxurious interiors seen in cars like the Ford Deluxe or the Chevy Special Deluxe, both direct competitors. Plymouth emphasized practicality, and this often came at the cost of a less appealing interior experience. The seats, though spacious, offered minimal cushioning, and the dashboard instruments were basic and straightforward. Safety and ride comfort were also points of concern. The Special Deluxe was equipped with rudimentary brakes and a basic suspension system. Its leaf spring rear suspension design, while serviceable, contributed to a rough ride on uneven roads, and handling was average at best, with the steering requiring considerable effort. Plymouth's lack of focus on advanced suspension or shock absorption technology made the Special Deluxe less comfortable than other cars in its class, particularly on longer drives or over rough terrain. While the car's robust construction meant it was durable, the driving experience left something to be desired. Despite these limitations, the 1941 Plymouth Special Deluxe found success with American families looking for a budget-friendly, dependable car that could withstand daily use. Plymouth had cultivated a reputation for reliability, and many consumers were willing to overlook the car's underpowered engine and outdated design in exchange for its low cost and reliable performance. The Special Deluxe also benefited from an extensive dealer network and easy access to parts, making it easier to maintain than some of its flashier competitors. The onset of World War II also influenced the car's legacy. With U.S. civilian automobile production suspended in 1942, the 1941 Special Deluxe marked one of the last new models available before car manufacturers shifted to military production. This scarcity, combined with Plymouth's established reputation for building dependable cars, contributed to the Special Deluxe becoming a staple on American roads during the early 1940s. After the war, Plymouth continued to update its lineup with more modern designs and improved performance, but the Special Deluxe became a symbol of the dependable, practical family car. Today, the 1941 Plymouth Special Deluxe is appreciated by classic car enthusiasts as a relic of a simpler time in automotive history. While it may lack the performance, style, or technological advancements of other vehicles, it embodies the values that Plymouth championed: reliability, affordability, and functionality. The Special Deluxe serves as a reminder of the pre-war automotive industry's emphasis on practicality over luxury and performance. The 1940 Cadillac Series 62 epitomized luxury and prestige, designed to attract affluent buyers seeking refinement, elegance, and power. Introduced as part of Cadillac's expanding lineup, the Series 62 brought a mix of opulence, bold design, and a V8 engine that was ahead of its time. Its arrival signaled Cadillac's commitment to creating stylish, luxury vehicles that offered superior comfort and an advanced driving experience. However, despite its lavish appeal, the Series 62 faced several significant challenges, particularly in handling, weight, and maintenance requirements. The first noticeable weakness of the 1940 Cadillac Series 62 was its considerable weight. Built on a solid steel frame, the Series 62 was as heavy as it looked, weighing approximately 4,200 pounds. This substantial weight not only impacted fuel efficiency, but also significantly affected the vehicle's handling and maneuverability. While the car was intended for comfortable cruising rather than sporty driving, its size and weight made it cumbersome on narrow roads and tricky to handle, especially for less experienced drivers. Even though Cadillac included power-assisted brakes to improve stopping power, these systems were not as responsive as modern systems, making the driving experience challenging, particularly when maneuvering in tight spaces or attempting to stop abruptly. The Cadillac Series 62 featured a 346 cubic inch V8 engine, which, for its time, was a powerful option in the luxury car segment, delivering around 135 horsepower. While the engine's power output was impressive for the era, it was also one of the car's weaknesses. Maintaining a V8 of this size required regular service, which could be costly and time-consuming. Cadillac's V8, though advanced, had a reputation for being high maintenance, with frequent oil changes, carburetor adjustments, and occasional overhauls necessary to keep the engine running smoothly. The car's performance could suffer if maintenance was neglected, leading to engine inefficiencies and a loss of power over time. Furthermore, this high-maintenance nature could be burdensome to owners, who had to regularly invest time and money to keep their luxurious vehicle in peak condition. Despite the Series 62's luxurious appeal, Cadillac's attention to design and detail meant that the vehicle's interior was intricate and required careful upkeep. The luxurious upholstery, intricate dashboard, and chrome-plated details were susceptible to wear over time, and maintaining this level of elegance added to the car's maintenance costs. For many buyers, these maintenance demands created a significant downside to the ownership experience, as keeping the Series 62 in pristine condition was far more challenging than with simpler, less luxurious models. Any sign of wear or damage inside the vehicle detracted from its high-end appeal, and the cost of restoring these luxury features often proved prohibitive for owners over time. While the Series 62 featured advanced engineering and a lavish design, its drawbacks became apparent as more practical models entered the market. The 1940s were challenging years economically, and many prospective buyers found it difficult to justify the expenses associated with maintaining such a high-end vehicle. Although the Series 62 delivered a smooth ride on highways, its fuel consumption was high due to its weight and large V8 engine. This made it a less appealing option during times when fuel economy was an increasing concern, particularly as post-war models began emphasizing efficiency alongside comfort. Nevertheless, the Series 62 made an impact with its bold exterior, featuring Cadillac's signature tail fins and a sleek, streamlined design that set a precedent for automotive style in the coming years. Its forward-thinking aesthetic made it a popular choice among those looking to make a statement, and it successfully captured the public's attention as a symbol of American luxury. Cadillac's design innovations, especially the introduction of the torpedo body style, highlighted the brand's ambition to push boundaries in both engineering and design, giving the Series 62 an iconic status that outlived its production years. While its weaknesses limited the Series 62's practicality for the average driver, Cadillac succeeded in establishing it as a luxury statement, admired for its presence, comfort, and cutting-edge design. Over time, the Series 62 became a beloved classic, sought after by collectors and vintage car enthusiasts who appreciate it as a relic of an era when elegance took precedence over efficiency. Its rich history, advanced design, and embodiment of pre-war American luxury have allowed the Series 62 to remain memorable in automotive history, even with its hefty weight, challenging handling, and high maintenance demands. Today, the 1940 Cadillac Series 62 stands as a symbol of Cadillac's legacy. The 1941 Studebaker Champion was positioned as a budget-friendly vehicle designed to cater to the needs of American families during a time when economic concerns were paramount. Its introduction was met with some enthusiasm due to its sleek, modern design and perceived value. However, beneath the surface, several weaknesses emerged that would ultimately tarnish the model's reputation and impact its long-term success in the automotive market. One of the Champion's most significant weaknesses was its engine performance. Equipped with a modest 78 horsepower inline-six engine, the Champion was designed primarily for efficiency rather than power. While this engine configuration was adequate for urban driving and commuting, it struggled to provide a satisfying driving experience, particularly on highways or during more demanding driving conditions. Acceleration was sluggish, which became increasingly apparent when the car was loaded with passengers or cargo. For many potential buyers, the lack of robust performance was disappointing, especially compared to other vehicles that offered more spirited driving dynamics. In an era when consumers were beginning to seek cars that provided both utility and excitement, the Champion fell short in this regard, leading to a lack of enthusiasm among drivers who preferred a more engaging experience. The interior of the 1941 Champion also left much to be desired. In a bid to keep production costs low and maintain an attractive price point, Studebaker employed basic materials and finishes throughout the cabin. While the exterior design showcased clean lines and a modern aesthetic, the interior was often criticized for its lack of comfort and refinement. The seats, although spacious, were upholstered with thin fabric that showed wear quickly, and the hard plastic components felt cheap and dated even at the time of release. Drivers and passengers alike found that the overall quality of the materials did not stand up well to regular use. This degradation in interior quality led to an experience that felt less premium than competitors, many of which offered richer, more luxurious environments. Durability issues compounded the 1941 Champion struggles. While the car's initial construction aimed to reflect solid craftsmanship, reports of wear and tear began to surface relatively quickly, particularly among owners who relied on their Champions for daily transportation. Problems included premature rusting, especially in areas exposed to moisture, and issues with the vehicle's suspension system, which often led to a harsh and uncomfortable ride. As the vehicle aged, its structural integrity diminished, leading some owners to experience alarming creaks and rattles that detracted from the driving experience. These durability concerns eroded confidence in the vehicle's longevity and value, as many drivers found themselves facing unexpected repair bills sooner than anticipated. Another major concern with the 1941 Studebaker Champion was its reliability, particularly in relation to the electrical system. Though many vehicles of that era experienced some electrical challenges, the Champion developed a reputation for frequent issues. Drivers reported problems with starting, erratic gauge readings, and failures in the lighting system. These electrical difficulties were frustrating and often left owners stranded or in need of assistance, undermining the car's practicality. The growing frequency of such issues became a significant source of dissatisfaction for many Champion owners, as these problems were not only inconvenient, but also indicative of broader quality control issues at Studebaker during the period. In summary, while the 1941 Studebaker Champion initially drew attention for its stylish design and affordability, a combination of underwhelming engine performance, low-quality interior materials, durability concerns, and reliability issues ultimately overshadowed its positive attributes. Over time, these weaknesses contributed to a decline in consumer confidence, leading to an erosion of its market share in an increasingly competitive automotive landscape. As potential buyers began to prioritize performance, reliability, and comfort, the Champion struggled to maintain its footing, resulting in a less favorable position compared to other manufacturers that successfully adapted to changing consumer demands. The Champion's legacy, therefore, serves as a reminder of the challenges that budget-conscious automakers faced during a transformative era in the automotive industry. The 1942 Packard Clipper represents a unique chapter in American automotive history, characterized by a blend of luxury and performance aspirations during a period that saw significant challenges due to World War II. Launched amid increasing competition and evolving consumer expectations, the Clipper was designed to convey sophistication and elegance, encapsulating the ideals of high-end motoring. However, despite its stylish design and luxurious features, the vehicle exhibited several critical weaknesses that ultimately hindered its success and performance. One of the foremost issues with the 1942 Packard Clipper was its sheer size. Designed as a full-size sedan, the Clipper aimed to provide ample interior space and comfort for its occupants, positioning itself as a premium offering in the market. The focus on spaciousness and luxury came at a cost. The car's large frame and weight resulted in limited performance capabilities. While many consumers were drawn to the idea of a roomy vehicle that offered a comfortable ride, the Clipper's bulk translated to sluggish acceleration and overall lethargy on the road. Drivers often found that the car lacked the responsiveness expected from a vehicle marketed as a luxury model. The heavy chassis and engine configuration meant that the Clipper struggled to achieve the spirited driving experience that many buyers sought, leading to disappointment among enthusiasts and everyday drivers alike. Furthermore, the handling characteristics of the 1942 Clipper were subpar. While the car was designed for smooth cruising, its size contributed to a cumbersome driving experience. Many drivers reported that the Clipper felt unwieldy, particularly during cornering or maneuvering in tight spaces. The steering, although designed to be smooth at lower speeds, lacked the precision and feedback that would allow for confident driving at higher speeds or in more dynamic conditions. As a result, the Clipper did not instill confidence in its drivers, particularly those accustomed to more agile luxury vehicles. In an era when competition was becoming fiercer, this deficiency in handling was a critical flaw that limited the Clipper's appeal to a broader audience. Another significant weakness of the 1942 Packard Clipper was its fuel economy, or lack thereof. The combination of a heavy frame and a relatively powerful engine led to poor fuel efficiency, making it an expensive vehicle to operate over time. During a period when gas prices were rising and consumers were becoming increasingly conscious of their expenses, the Clipper's thirst for fuel became a liability. The automobile industry was beginning to face pressures for more fuel-efficient designs, and the Clipper's inability to deliver on this front was a significant disadvantage. Many potential buyers were likely discouraged by the thought of high operating costs, which further limited the car's marketability. In addition to these performance-related issues, the 1942 Clipper faced criticism regarding its build quality and durability. While Packard was known for crafting high-quality vehicles, the Clipper's larger size brought about challenges in manufacturing consistency. Some owners reported various reliability issues, particularly concerning the car's electrical system and other mechanical components. Over time, as with many luxury vehicles, the need for regular and often costly maintenance became a notable drawback. Consumers who valued reliability and dependability in their vehicles may have been deterred by the potential for frequent repairs, impacting the Clipper's overall reputation in the market. Moreover, the Packard Clipper's design, while visually appealing, began to show its age as consumer preferences evolved. By the time the car was released, tastes were shifting towards more modern styling cues, which made the Clipper's classic lines appear somewhat outdated. The competition was starting to introduce vehicles that featured not only improved performance, but also more contemporary aesthetics. As manufacturers began to innovate and embrace new design philosophies, the Clipper's more traditional approach may have been viewed as less appealing by a generation looking for innovation and modernity in their vehicles. The combination of these factors ultimately resulted in a mixed reception for the 1942 Packard Clipper. While it was undeniably an attractive car that offered a level of luxury and comfort, the limitations imposed by its size, weight, and handling left a lasting impression that tarnished its appeal. The automotive landscape was rapidly changing during this time, with consumers increasingly demanding a balance between comfort and performance. And the Clipper's inability to fully meet these expectations was a significant hindrance to its success. As the industry continued to evolve, it became clear that a luxury car needed to embody not only elegance and comfort. The 1940 Oldsmobile Series 60 embodies a blend of classic American automotive design and performance from a bygone era. Positioned as a mid-range vehicle, it aimed to offer comfort and style to a broad audience during a time of significant change in the automotive industry. However, despite its initial appeal, the Series 60 had several notable weaknesses that impacted its overall reputation and functionality. One of the primary weaknesses of the 1940 Oldsmobile Series 60 was its handling characteristics. Designed with a focus on comfort rather than agility, the Series 60 featured a simple suspension setup that often resulted in a less engaging driving experience. While it offered a smooth ride on straight roads, the handling became problematic during more dynamic driving situations. Many drivers found the car to be somewhat unwieldy when navigating turns or making quick maneuvers, which could lead to a lack of confidence behind the wheel. This simplistic handling, while suitable for leisurely drives, failed to satisfy those looking for a more responsive and enjoyable driving experience. Furthermore, the Series 60 was also lacking in advanced safety features, which was a significant concern for many consumers. During this era, automotive safety was becoming increasingly important, yet the Oldsmobile did not incorporate many of the innovations that were emerging in the market. Essential safety elements such as effective seat belts and advanced braking systems were either rudimentary or entirely absent. As a result, drivers and passengers were left vulnerable in the event of an accident, leading to a growing concern about the vehicle's overall safety. In a period when consumers were beginning to prioritize safety alongside performance and comfort, the Series 60's shortcomings in this area became a notable disadvantage. Additionally, the engine technology utilized in the 1940 Oldsmobile Series 60 was a reflection of older designs, which ultimately contributed to its lackluster fuel efficiency and performance. While the car was equipped with a V8 engine that provided adequate power for everyday driving, it fell short of the advancements being made by competitors. The older engine technology led to subpar fuel efficiency, meaning that drivers found themselves making frequent trips to the gas station. In an era where fuel prices could fluctuate, this inefficiency became a practical issue for many owners, detracting from the overall ownership experience. Furthermore, the engine's performance did not match the expectations of some consumers, particularly as the automotive landscape began to embrace more powerful and efficient options. The combination of simple handling, inadequate safety features, and outdated engine technology meant that the 1940 Oldsmobile Series 60 struggled to fully meet the demands of its audience. While it was an attractive option for those looking for a comfortable ride, it lacked the performance and safety aspects that were becoming increasingly important to consumers. As competitors began to innovate and introduce more advanced vehicles that offered a balance of comfort, safety, and performance, the Oldsmobile faced challenges in maintaining its market position. In conclusion, the 1940 Oldsmobile Series 60 serves as an example of how even well-crafted vehicles can be hindered by significant weaknesses in their design and functionality. Its handling dynamics, lack of advanced safety features, and outdated engine technology ultimately limited its appeal and performance, making it less competitive in an evolving automotive market. The challenges faced by the Series 60 highlight the importance of continuous innovation and adaptation in the automotive industry, as manufacturers sought to align their offerings with the changing expectations of consumers. As the market continued to evolve, the lessons learned from the 1940 Oldsmobile Series 60 would influence the development of future vehicles, pushing the industry towards greater emphasis on performance, safety, and driver engagement. The 1941 Mercury 8 represents a significant chapter in automotive history, reflecting the design trends and consumer preferences of its time. Mercury aimed to bridge the gap between the more economical Ford line and the upscale Lincoln brand, and the 8 was positioned as a stylish and moderately priced vehicle. However, despite its appealing exterior and intended functionality, the Mercury 8 faced several notable weaknesses that limited its overall performance and driving experience. One of the most critical shortcomings of the 1941 Mercury 8 was its basic suspension system. While the car was designed for comfort during daily drives, the suspension lacked the sophistication seen in some of its competitors. This simplicity meant that the car did not absorb road imperfections as effectively, leading to a less refined ride, especially on uneven or bumpy surfaces. Drivers and passengers often experienced a jarring sensation over potholes or road irregularities, detracting from the overall comfort that many consumers expected from a vehicle in this class. This basic suspension design compromised the car's ability to provide a smooth and enjoyable ride, particularly on the varied road conditions common in the early 1940s. In addition to its suspension issues, the 1941 Mercury 8 also suffered from limited engine power. Equipped with a flathead V8 engine, the 8 produced a modest amount of horsepower that, while adequate for everyday driving, failed to impress those seeking a more spirited performance. As a result, the vehicle was less agile compared to some of its contemporaries, making it less responsive during acceleration and cornering maneuvers. This lack of power not only impacted the driving experience, but also contributed to a sense of frustration for enthusiasts who crave more excitement behind the wheel. The car's inability to deliver a dynamic performance often left drivers feeling as though they were piloting a vehicle that lacked the spirit typically associated with American cars of the era. Furthermore, the handling issues that arose from the basic suspension and limited power became increasingly apparent when navigating corners or making quick adjustments. The Mercury 8's design prioritized comfort over agility, leading to a car that could feel cumbersome when faced with sharp turns or sudden stops. Drivers reported that the car's steering could feel vague, making it challenging to gauge the vehicle's response to inputs. This aspect of handling could create a lack of confidence, especially for those accustomed to more responsive vehicles. The combination of these handling challenges contributed to an overall driving experience that felt less engaging, which could deter buyers looking for a more performance-oriented vehicle. Additionally, the Mercury 8's size and weight, common among American cars of the period, compounded these handling issues. While many consumers appreciated the spacious interior and exterior aesthetics, the bulkiness of the vehicle further hindered its agility. As a larger car, the 8 required more effort to maneuver, particularly in urban settings or tight spaces. This factor, combined with its limited power and basic suspension, made the car feel less versatile and more suited to leisurely highway cruising rather than spirited driving on winding roads. In conclusion, the 1941 Mercury 8 is a notable example of the balance between comfort and performance that many manufacturers sought to achieve during this era. However, its basic suspension, limited power, and handling issues ultimately hindered its overall appeal. While the Mercury 8 provided an attractive option for consumers looking for style and comfort, it fell short of delivering the engaging driving experience that many expected. The lessons learned from the 8 would pave the way for future improvements in automotive design and engineering, as manufacturers aimed to create vehicles that offered a harmonious blend of comfort, performance, and driver satisfaction. As the automotive industry evolved in the years following the 1941 Mercury 8, the focus on enhancing performance, improving handling dynamics, and integrating advanced technologies became increasingly essential in meeting consumer demands. 1942, Lincoln Zephyr, an in-depth analysis of weaknesses. The 1942 Lincoln Zephyr is often celebrated for its stunning design and luxurious features, making it a standout vehicle of its era. With a rich heritage as part of the Lincoln brand, it embodied the ideals of elegance and comfort expected from American luxury cars. However, despite its glamorous exterior and status, the Zephyr encountered several significant weaknesses that would ultimately tarnish its legacy. This analysis delves deeper into the various shortcomings of the 1942 Lincoln Zephyr, particularly focusing on its weight, engine performance, maintenance issues, handling characteristics, and market competition. Weight and maneuverability challenges. One of the most prominent weaknesses of the 1942 Lincoln Zephyr was its considerable weight. Built on a robust chassis, the Zephyr's hefty frame contributed to its imposing presence on the road. However, this weight came at a cost. While some drivers appreciated the sense of solidity, many found the car cumbersome to navigate, especially in urban settings where agility was crucial. The bulkiness made it challenging to perform sharp turns or maneuver in tight spaces, and parking could be a daunting task. This lack of agility was particularly notable when compared to lighter vehicles of the same era, which often offered a more responsive driving experience. For potential buyers seeking a combination of luxury and sportiness, the Zephyr's heavy build could prove disappointing. As a result, it struggled to appeal to a demographic that valued performance alongside prestige. Engine performance and maintenance issues. The Plymouth V12 engine was one of the Lincoln Zephyr's defining features, providing a level of power that was impressive for the time. However, the complexity of the V12 design led to several problems that would plague the model. First and foremost, the engine's inherent intricacies resulted in high maintenance requirements. Keeping a V12 engine in optimal condition was not only essential for performance, but also financially burdensome for many owners. Routine maintenance and servicing became costly endeavors, often requiring specialized knowledge and parts that were not always easy to obtain. Moreover, the Zephyr's V12 engine was notorious for overheating issues. This significant flaw posed a risk of serious engine damage if left unchecked, creating anxiety for owners who relied on the vehicle for daily use. In a luxury car that promised refinement and reliability, the prospect of an overheating engine was a stark contradiction to the image Lincoln sought to project. The combination of high maintenance costs and potential engine overheating led some prospective buyers to question the long-term viability of owning a Zephyr, impacting its appeal in the competitive luxury market. Handling characteristics and driving experience. In addition to weight and engine performance, the handling characteristics of the 1942 Lincoln Zephyr were subpar, particularly when compared to its contemporaries. While many luxury cars of the time were designed with aerodynamics in mind, the Zephyr's heavier frame made it feel less agile on the road. This lack of nimbleness could detract from the overall driving experience, making it feel more like a heavy cruiser than a spirited luxury vehicle. The basic suspension system, designed to support its weight, did little to enhance the driving experience. Many drivers found that the Zephyr struggled with uneven road conditions, leading to an uncomfortable ride that did not match the luxurious image Lincoln sought to convey. Instead of providing a smooth and refined experience, the handling issues detracted from the overall comfort and enjoyment of driving the Zephyr. Market competition and consumer expectations. During the early 1940s, the automotive market was evolving rapidly, with consumers seeking not only luxury, but also performance and reliability. As American car manufacturers began to prioritize advancements in technology and design, the Zephyr's weaknesses became increasingly apparent. Competing luxury brands were rolling out vehicles that combined elegance with cutting-edge engineering, leaving the Lincoln Zephyr lagging behind in terms of both performance and reputation. For example, brands like Cadillac and Packard began to innovate in ways that appealed to the luxury consumer, offering vehicles with improved handling, better engine performance, and more modern features. As buyers sought more than just a beautiful exterior, the Zephyr struggled to keep pace with these changing consumer expectations. Moreover, the growing demand for fuel efficiency and practicality further complicated the Zephyr's standing in the market. As the world moved toward a focus on more economical cars, especially during the war years, consumers began to reassess their priorities when it came to luxury vehicles. 1940, Nash Ambassador, a comprehensive examination of weaknesses. The 1940 Nash Ambassador was a vehicle that aimed to blend luxury with practicality in an era marked by shifting consumer preferences. While it boasted several features that appealed to buyers, including a spacious interior and distinct styling, it also suffered from significant weaknesses that limited its appeal. This analysis explores the various shortcomings of the 1940 Nash Ambassador, particularly focusing on its weight, performance, interior quality, and overall market positioning. One of the most notable weaknesses of the 1940 Nash Ambassador was its heavyweight. Built on a robust chassis, the Ambassador was designed to convey a sense of stability and solidity. However, this very solidity became a double-edged sword. The vehicle's considerable weight negatively impacted both speed and acceleration, making it less responsive than competitors that offered a sportier driving experience. With its bulkiness, the Nash Ambassador struggled to achieve the performance benchmarks set by lighter, more agile cars. This limitation was particularly apparent during highway driving, where acceleration could feel sluggish compared to peers. The weight not only hindered the car's ability to perform well in terms of speed, but also contributed to lower fuel economy. In an era where efficiency was becoming an increasingly important consideration for consumers, the Ambassador's heavy build became a liability. The weight of the Ambassador not only affected performance, but also led to significant concerns about fuel economy. As the automobile industry began to recognize the importance of efficient fuel consumption, the Nash Ambassador's hefty frame worked against it. While some cars of the time were beginning to incorporate design elements that enhanced aerodynamics and efficiency, the Ambassador's design lagged behind. Consumers began to prioritize vehicles that could deliver better mileage without sacrificing comfort or performance. As a result, the Ambassador's fuel economy, already hampered by its weight, failed to meet the expectations of drivers who were becoming more conscious of operating costs. The inability to offer competitive fuel efficiency limited the car's attractiveness in a market that was evolving toward more economical choices. While the Nash Ambassador was marketed as a luxury vehicle, its interior quality fell short of expectations, particularly when compared to other offerings in the luxury segment. The materials used in the Ambassador's cabin were often seen as basic and unrefined. While the car offered ample space, the overall aesthetic and tactile experience left much to be desired. By 1940 standards, consumers began to expect not only spaciousness, but also an inviting atmosphere adorned with high-quality finishes and features. The Nash Ambassador, with its simple interior, failed to deliver the kind of luxury experience that buyers sought. This gap between expectation and reality created a sense of disappointment among potential customers. Moreover, ride comfort was another area where the Ambassador struggled. The suspension system, while functional, did not provide the level of smoothness that many luxury car buyers desired. As consumers increasingly sought a plush driving experience, the basic handling characteristics of the Ambassador became a drawback. Passengers often found themselves jostled during trips, undermining the very luxury that the brand aimed to represent. In the competitive landscape of the early 1940s, the Nash Ambassador faced significant challenges in positioning itself as a desirable choice. As consumers gravitated toward brands that combined elegance with performance, Nash struggled to maintain a foothold in the market. The Ambassador's weaknesses, particularly its heavy weight and basic interior, made it difficult for the brand to differentiate itself from rivals. Competing luxury brands were rolling out vehicles that not only matched, but often exceeded the performance and comfort levels of the Ambassador. Automakers such as Cadillac and Lincoln were refining their designs and engineering, capturing the attention of buyers who were willing to invest in vehicles that represented the pinnacle of luxury. Furthermore, the Nash Ambassador found itself at odds with changing consumer preferences, which began to prioritize efficiency and performance. As the market evolved, buyers sought vehicles that offered a blend of style, comfort, and practicality. The Ambassador's shortcomings, specifically its weight, fuel economy, and basic interior, meant that it struggled to align with these shifting expectations. The 1940 Nash Ambassador occupies an interesting place in automotive history, representing a time when luxury and practicality were key selling points. However, its weaknesses, most notably its heavy weight, fuel economy concerns, basic interior quality. 1941, Hudson Super 6, a comprehensive analysis of weaknesses. The 1941 Hudson Super 6 was a product of its era, designed to offer a blend of comfort, performance, and distinctive styling. While the Super 6 had some appealing aspects, such as its unique design and historical significance, it also faced several weaknesses that limited its competitiveness and market appeal. This analysis delves into the various shortcomings of the Hudson Super 6, focusing on its outdated interior, modest engine performance, heavy weight, and the resultant impact on fuel efficiency and agility. One of the most significant weaknesses of the 1941 Hudson Super 6 was its outdated interior. Although the Super 6 was marketed as a family car, it lacked the modern conveniences and aesthetic appeal that consumers had begun to expect in vehicles of that period. The interior materials were often seen as basic, lacking the refined touches that were becoming commonplace in other brands. Buyers sought cars that not only provided comfort, but also an inviting atmosphere. The Super 6's interior design felt old-fashioned and did not resonate with the tastes of consumers who were increasingly attracted to more contemporary styling and features. This disconnect made it less appealing in a competitive market, where rivals were stepping up their game in terms of cabin quality and technology. Additionally, the comfort levels offered by the Hudson Super 6 were not on par with its contemporaries. As automobile design evolved, so did consumer expectations for ride quality and passenger comfort. While the Super 6 did provide a reasonable amount of space for its occupants, the ride comfort was often criticized. The suspension system, although adequate for its time, struggled to absorb bumps effectively, leading to a less than smooth ride. This issue was particularly noticeable on uneven road surfaces, where passengers could feel jostled and uncomfortable. In an age when luxury was increasingly defined by a smooth and serene driving experience, the Super 6 fell short. Another notable weakness of the Hudson Super 6 was its modest engine power. While the car was equipped with a 6-cylinder engine that provided decent performance for daily driving, it did not offer the kind of power that enthusiasts or those looking for a more exhilarating driving experience would desire. The engine's output was considered modest compared to rivals that offered more powerful options, limiting the Super 6 appeal to consumers looking for both performance and practicality. In a time when many manufacturers were investing in higher output engines to provide a sportier driving experience, Hudson's conservative approach with the Super 6 left it at a disadvantage. The heavy weight of one of the Hudson Super 6 also had several negative implications. Built on a sturdy frame, the vehicle's weight contributed to its perception as a solid and reliable option. However, this same weight became a liability when it came to performance and fuel efficiency. The additional mass made the car less agile, leading to handling characteristics that felt cumbersome, particularly when navigating tight turns or busy city streets. Additionally, the heavy build negatively impacted the car's fuel efficiency. As consumers began to prioritize economy alongside performance, the Super 6's fuel consumption became a concern, especially as gas prices fluctuated in the post-war period. The combination of weight and modest engine power led to a lack of responsiveness that could frustrate drivers seeking a more dynamic experience behind the wheel. The impact of the Hudson Super 6 weaknesses on its overall market positioning cannot be understated. In an era marked by fierce competition, consumers had numerous options for family sedans, many of which offered superior performance, better interiors, and enhanced comfort. The limitations of the Super 6, particularly its outdated design and modest engine performance, meant that it struggled to capture the attention of buyers who were increasingly discerning about their automotive choices. While the Hudson brand had a legacy of innovation and distinctiveness, the Super 6 represented a missed opportunity to evolve with changing consumer preferences. In conclusion, the 1941 Hudson Super 6 car serves as a case study in the importance of balancing design, performance, and consumer expectations. Its outdated interior, modest engine power, heavy weight, and resulting issues with fuel efficiency and agility highlighted the challenges faced by manufacturers in adapting to a rapidly changing automotive landscape. While the Super 6 was undoubtedly a product of its time, its weaknesses ultimately hindered its competitiveness and limited its ability to attract buyers in an evolving market. As the automotive industry moved forward, the lessons learned from the Hudson Super 6